Hello and welcome back to our channel, How We Move the Decimal. In today's video, I am photographing slides to list on eBay, and what I normally do is I will photograph and bank all the photographs and then I will list them on eBay as I get around to it when I have time to do it. Because I don't have a dedicated listing area, I use my dining room table, so when I do photograph, I have to batch them all at once. My cat is trying to get on my lap and I don't know what he's trying to do, so sorry. But with this, I've already scanned these slides, so now I'm just photographing them. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I was going through and making the videos you see at the end where I go through and look at all the photos. And when I was doing that, I realized that several of the photos, not necessarily this batch, but several of the photos in one of the batches were really inappropriate. With and like really inappropriate of children. Nothing illegal or anything, but like apparently camping in the 70s was clothes optional if you were under the age of 5. So I didn't realize that, and I went through and I started looking through all the photographs that I had scanned, and I was like, oh, I have to pull those out. I have to recount that batch. And I was panicking because I thought I'd already listed them on eBay, and I was going to have to go in and change the listing. And God forbid if I would have sold them, that would have been a whole thing. So that's a cautionary tale for those of you that are selling slides or photographs or anything, that we need to be very wary of what's on them, look at them closely. I tend to fly through them and not look at them too closely. But just because there's so many, just this weekend I was photographing some more, and in one day I photographed 700 slides. So I'm going through a lot of slides, but I know now to scan them and look at them and make sure not to scan them on the machine. Again, I can scan like 100 slides in 15 minutes. I've gotten a pace to it and a rhythm to it, but I'm not necessarily paying that much attention to the scan on the machine. And oh, when I looked at them on my computer, I could definitely tell, and I had a bit of a panic attack about that. I also have to remember I need to pull those out of the slides. When I pull them out, I have a note to myself to go find those slides and pull them out. It was bad. It was bad. And I don't really want to be accused of anything or anything inappropriate or lose my eBay account over some slides that I may have missed. So definitely be very, very wary of that. I've had like bathtub stuff from babies and I'll pull those out, but I didn't expect this because it was on a campground. Like the scenery was a campground. They're like eating lunch or something, and these children have no clothes on. And I was like, oh no, oh no. I was whatever that meme is, the oh no, no. Yeah, that was me. So I panicked a bit about that. I just have to remember to pull those out when I go down and do that. But it was a bit of a mess. And then I was scanning some other slides and they had some souvenir slides in them. And there were some inappropriate souvenir slides, I guess novelty shop souvenir slides. So I'm glad I pulled those out too. It was a mess. It had me rethinking my life choices this weekend. However, this weekend was really good, or over Thanksgiving. So I am recording this Monday after Thanksgiving. If you're not in the United States, Thanksgiving was this past Thursday. So today's the 28th. I don't even know, maybe 25th was Thanksgiving. But most of us school-wise are out Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So myself and my children were out Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. However, we had a very eventful, uneventful Thanksgiving, as in we all got influenza A. So if you've watched my other videos, we all had COVID October 25th. And then last week, my youngest came home from school with influenza A, and we made it. She went back to school Monday and Tuesday. We thought we were in the clear. Then my oldest dropped, so he was the next to drop. Really high fevers with influenza A, super high fevers, and like 104 high fevers. Just miserable. And then my middle dropped, and then my husband and myself haven't been feeling great. But because of this, Thanksgiving was canceled and we didn't go anywhere. So we had a pretty lazy Thanksgiving break. All in all, I mean, they felt miserable, and I wish that could have changed, but we were able to get a lot of stuff done. We were able to put up our Christmas tree and list some stuff on eBay that had just been sitting around in our great room for a while, things that sold within 24 hours of being listed. And I love that and hate that. It's like I held on to that for 5 years and it sold within 24 hours. Some of them sold within minutes of being listed. Again, we've had them for years. I sold a lot of slide lots this weekend. I sold 4 different vintage slide lots. I sold some vintage computer games that were my games growing up, that my mom had just saved forever. Some of them we had already sold, things that were higher priced, that we knew were higher priced. We sold those fairly early on, like after we cleaned out my mom's house. Like Mist and Loom and stuff, we sold those fairly early a couple years ago, and these other games were just sitting around. And we sold The Sims, and it was one of the original Sims. It had the floppies, so we sold that. It wasn't even listed for 20 minutes, and it sold. And then these weren't my games. We had found them at a rummage sale, and they're called Leisure Suit Larry or Leisure Larry or something, and they sold really well and very quickly. So, and they'd literally been sitting in my house for 5 years. I got them before I even had my youngest daughter, and then we had our baby and everything went crazy. So things that have just been sitting in boxes for years and years we sold, and they sold very quickly, which makes you go, ooh, did I price those right? And it also makes you like, oh my gosh, I can't believe these are taking up space. I went to the post office today and dropped them off this morning, which was interesting because my middle child is still home from school sick, so I don't have a lot of time. I went to work, dropped it off, and came home so my husband could go to work after we dropped the kids off at school. And with that, our post office doesn't want you to take prepaid stuff to the counter anymore. Well, one of the 3 post offices doesn't want you to take prepaid stuff to the counter anymore. They want you to self-scan it and put it in the bin. However, our bin was stuck shut, and this happens a lot when there's a lot of people have dropped off a lot of stuff overnight. And so it's happened to me more on Mondays than any other day, and I'm assuming over the weekend and stuff. So I went to the counter and I had like 16 items to ship, and most of them were in 10 by 8 by 6 boxes, so really big boxes. And I filled a complete IKEA rainbow bag up, so they're slightly larger than the standard blue bags. I filled that up completely. I think I had 6 8 by 10 by 6 boxes in there, and then bags and poly mailers and stuff. And I profusely apologized to the person, and this lady I've gotten multiple times. I have a rapport with her. I like her. She's super nice. And she was like, oh, I know the drawer's stuck. We just haven't got around to it. That's fine, blah, blah, blah. But then her manager walked by and he's like, well, why are you scanning all of those? That's a waste of time. Those need to go in the drawer. You need to scan them yourself. And I was very protective of her. I was like, the drawer was, it's locked, it's stuck. So I couldn't put them in the drawer. I couldn't scan them myself. And I've had issues where I've scanned them myself. And even if you scan them yourself, it doesn't count as a scan until they get scanned again. And I've had them not get scanned again after being put in the drawer where they should be scanned again. But especially during the holiday season and stuff, if the person's not actually scanning them at the desk, I've had them not get scanned. So, especially with a couple of the things we sold, they sold for pretty high. I would be worried if I didn't have these high priced items tracked, because I don't want the buyer to come back and say, hey, you know, this was never shipped to me. I don't know what's going on. So I felt better about scanning them anyway. If the drawer wouldn't have been shut or stuck, I probably would have used that, because there's signs everywhere saying scan your own items, don't bring to counter, don't bring prepaid to counter. I'm not sure how like ethical that is, but also there's those same people that don't pick up packages. So I can schedule a package pickup and they just won't pick it up. Honestly, I don't live in the best neighborhood. I'm not sure I would leave my packages out anyway to be picked up. So there's that. Thank you for listening to this video. Sorry it took so long. It was a very eventful Thanksgiving, and I hope you subscribe and watch some of my other videos.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Too many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping a bomb to people putting up walls. I feel like life is on hold, perception stuck in a vault. I know that time can heal all, but how much time till we fall? It's awfully chilly outside when there's no shelter to hide. When everything is a lie, you'll find that out in some time. But when the things on your mind are all considered a crime, communication aside, we'll all just fight till we die. Is this an argument or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises. Or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. I know that things seem bad, but they could be much worse. There's always someone else who has a greater curse, a greater thirst, a hunger, pain, and mercy. Just find whatever you got and try to be thankful first. I wanna feel again, I need a couple friends. I never really understood just how the story ends, but I can feel it's tense, don't know the consequence. The volatility of life, my only confidence. Is this an argument or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises. Or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Too many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping a bomb to people putting up walls. I feel like life is on hold, perception stuck in a vault. I know that time can heal all, but how much time till we fall? It's awfully chilly outside when there's no shelter to hide. When everything is a lie, you'll find that out in some time. But when the things on your mind are all considered a crime, communication aside, we'll all just fight till we die. Is this an argument or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises, or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small, way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small, way back before we blew it all. I know that things seem bad, but they could be much worse. There's always someone else who has a greater curse, a greater thirst, a hunger, pain, and mercy. Just find whatever you got and try to be thankful first. I wanna feel again, I need a couple friends. I never really understood just how the story ends, but I can feel it's tense, don't know the consequence. The volatility of life, my only confidence. Is this an argument or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it.